Hello, you awesome friends, and welcome to our next live webinar. This one is Profitable Live Workshops, Webinars, and Seminars, and this is being done for you on Monday, the 10th of April, 2017. Great having you here, and it's actually an interesting one. This is a very, very niche topic that a lot of people, how can I say, don't get into, but the ones that get into it take it all the way. Because I tell you what, running live workshops, live webinars, and live seminars is quite a niche strategy for many business owners, but the ones that walk the path, may I tell you, can do incredibly well. In fact, many do incredibly well, myself included. So thank you for joining me for tonight's live webinar. Just a few things. If you are live on the webinar tonight, please ask questions. The more questions, the more information you give me. It allows me to reflect back to you and give you great answers for the whole audience to benefit from. If it's a recording, you can email, you can call me. I'm around to answer them. So let's get into it, shall we? Because this is going to be awesome. Now, my purpose is to help you win big and command your life. That is the reason why I'm in business. That's the reason why I love it. And the how we're going to do that tonight is we're going to talk about exactly the strategies, the thinking, mentoring, inspiration, and also give you the community to help you master your marketing. So thank you again for joining us. Now, when it comes to running live events, live workshops, and live webinars, it is where leverage really takes place. And this is one of the reasons why it's one of my favorite marketing strategies out there. And I'll explain what leverage is. It's pretty obvious, but I'm just going to explain it anyway. Leverage means many things in many different industries, but in marketing, leverage basically means a form of amplification of one's efforts. So, for example, very simple respect. I'm doing a live webinar now, and I've got all these awesome people on the line, and tomorrow, probably about 50 to 60 people will listen to the recording. This is leverage. I'm going to spend, let's say, an hour and a half to do the live webinar, as well as upload the recording to Facebook and YouTube. And what will happen is I will get a lot of awesome people watching this. And this will be forever on the internet for people to see. Now, the beauty of this, and this is where I'm coming from, is that this is leverage. And this is why workshops are so good. So let me use an example. Let's say you put together a workshop with 10 people or even 20 people. We'll say 10 people. And you do 2 hours in front of 10 people. Well, that's like doing 20 hours. If you do, let's say, 1 hour or 2 hours, let's say you do 1 hour in front of 10 people, that's like 10 hours one-on-one, not counting traveling time. So it's an incredible multiplication and amplification of what we do, and this is what the strategy is incredibly good at. So you're at the right place if you're for tonight's webinar. I'm very excited. And of course, please get me your questions live, real time for the webinar. Now, it's my passion to help you get more profitable, high value clients, increase your revenue and increase your profitability, and create more time for what you love. Also, as well, this webinar is valued at $300 and giving it to you on the house because I want to demonstrate my corporate citizenship, demonstrate my skills, and also give you some tools to keep you moving. Just so you know as well, if you want a copy of this presentation, please send me an email. I'd love to send it to you. And just so you know, the recording will be available. Now, for those that don't know me, my name's Edward Zia. I'm a marketing mentor, coach, and blogger. And over the years, I've helped my clients generate over 100 million Australian dollars. I've worked with thousands and helped many go from 0 to 6 figures in less than 12 months. I've also got a postgraduate in marketing from Monash University. I'm a certified practicing marketing at the Australian Marketing Institute. I'm an ex-military/Fed, and this is the bit I like to focus on. Marketing is a fast-moving profession, especially when you talk events, and I'm forever hitting new events across town to bring you the latest skills and experience to help you kick butt. This is general educational advice only, so please don't watch it and do something crazy. Feel free to talk to me as part of it. Now, let's start talking events, shall we? And some of the ideas and strategies to help you, and of course, get me your questions. Now, first things first, wonderful friends. This is what we call the marketing pipeline, where people start off as interested, some become fans, which means they like you, but they're not customers yet. Some decide to buy your services and become customers, and some become complete advocates. Now, here's how events work. The more people you put through this process, the better. So if you, let's say, okay, only 1 out of 10 people who go through this process convert to you and become a client. Do you want one person through, or do you want to stick 10 people through this process, or 100 people? You get it. Even though it takes time for people to become a customer or clients, the more people we can put into this process, the better. And running live events gives us a means of doing that. The second strategic consideration I want to make, and take the time in the recording to read this. This is some thoughts from Caltex in 1955 as to what constitutes a customer. The bit I like the most is it has a great point at the end where it talks about the importance of a customer. It's your job to handle their needs in a way that's profitable to them and yourself. Now, running a live event or workshop, more people in the room makes it more profitable. So if you run a live workshop with 5 people, is very different to 10 people, which is very different to 20 people. The more people you have in the room is the better you are and the more that you're set up. The next one, of course, is making sure that your services are just totally awesome and you've got maximum quality. I can't stress this point enough, and it's very, very important. And the final point I want to make on the strategic considerations before I get into the awesome detail is thinking about your marketing ecosystem. Now, what I'm getting at is, although I love live events and I do heaps of them, it's not the only part of my marketing strategy. But the point I want to make is that live events fit well into our marketing ecosystem. And I'll give you an example. Let's say you're running a live event and you're going to have 10 people, or you're running a live webinar, or whatever the case may be. What it actually does is events connect beautifully to the rest of your marketing strategy. You can promote them on LinkedIn, you can promote them on Facebook, you can send them to your database. And once an event is done, it gives you something very powerful to share on social media as proof of what you do, hence why I like them. So let's get into the awesome content, shall we, wonderful friends? Now, if you go back throughout history, events have been going on for a long time, from the old republic to watching Trump on Facebook Live during trashing the establishment during the election, right through to what we see today with group speaking. It is powerful. Now, I'll tell you how the internet has changed how live events are done. One is, of course, live webinars. You're on this live webinar now, learning with me in real time. It's absolutely fantastic having you here. That has really helped change things a lot, which is quite important. That's one side of things. The other side of things, where things have totally changed as well, and this is a bit that I really like, is that online, and this is the way I look at it, and this is a very important point that I want to make as part of it. To me, running a live webinar is incredible, because what you can do is you can run a workshop, a live face-to-face experience, or a live online webinar like this one, and you can use the internet to fill it. And that's a bit that I really like, and that's one of my key points that I'm going to be making over and over again. Even though you're running a face-to-face live event to give information and be belly to belly and give people the best possible chance of becoming clients, you're using online to fill them. And when you meld those strategies together, they are just incredible. And this is one of the big points, and of course, if you're listening to this, you're very interested in. It is important for many of us to make events part of our marketing. Now, what defines an event to me is a gathering. It could be as few as 3 to 4 people. It could be as much as 80 people. That's sort of the range that I've worked in. I've run events of just a couple people, right up until about 80, 90 people. It all just works. Now, the big point I want to make here is that several things play out. When you're actually running a gathering or running an event, you've got the whole power of leverage, which is one benefit, where a bunch of people listening to you. The second point, my awesome friends, is that the fact that you're up on stage in front of everyone demonstrating what you do sets you up as the industry expert, which is absolutely incredible. So what it does is that it paves the way for more high-value clients, which is something that I totally love about it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through towards the end of this presentation and discussion how I do it. But at the start, I'm going to just give you general information to sort of help you, and then I'll show you exactly what I'm doing, explain it to you, so you get a feel for the narrative. Now, whenever you run a live event of whatever form, you have to make a promise to your audience so the right people come, and you have to deliver on that promise. And especially as well, if you are like doing a free event is one thing, to let's say, invite people in and get new clients, which is one of my favorite things that I do. Or if you're doing a live event for money, you have to be extra better. You have to be even more powerful. Now, my point is that whether it's free or people are paying for it, people are giving up their time, which is incredibly valuable, and I can't stress that enough. But the other side of this remark that I really want to make is that make sure you take two sides with it. Make sure that whether it's paid or not, you just deliver such an incredible, amazing experience that just stacks up. So here is what it's all about. You've got to make your events as powerful and enjoyable as possible. Now, I do say this from the point of view of subjectivity because it's relative to who you're talking to. Have you got a conservative, engineering, numbers-driven, factual audience? Well, you need more facts and more items of that nature and more information to sort of get those people. Have you got more of a fun, happy-go-lucky sort of crowd that aren't really into facts and figures? They're more into ideas and inspiration. Or have you a mix of them all? This is another conversation, but a point I want to make is that The idea is you want to really understand who's coming so you can make it powerful and enjoyable. When I say powerful and enjoyable, that is subjective to the person. So what, for example, I'm a marketing guy who's quite a strong, dominant sort of personality. I bet you didn't figure that, huh? And I find certain events great. However, certain events with too much happy clappy or too much dialogue or pointless conversation is not my thing. So the trick is making sure that you're creating exactly the right experience for your audience. Now I'm going to go through 10 key considerations, and then I'm going to go through exactly how I do it. So I'm just going to tear through this very quickly. But if you've got any questions, you just hit pause and listen to it again or send me a question. So let's do it, shall we? Ready to go? I'm going to have a sip of my hot chocolate. Oh, that is good. All right, let's do it. 1, the business objective. When you run a live webinar, my very awesome friends, think of these key things. What is the point of the event? What is the outcome you're going to give to people? And it's great to ask yourself, how will people coming to this event want to sign up with you and want to become potential customers? It's great to ask yourself those heavy questions. And also, why are you doing the event? Are you doing the event to sell something? Are you doing the event to get customers? Or are you doing the event for your own very good reasons? It's very important that. Number 2, we've covered this one. What is the audience of people are coming? What's their natural styles? What are they into? What are their styles? How they like to hear information? And also as well, here's a big thing, what problems you're actually selling. Now, I work in marketing, so if I run events, surprise, surprise, my events are designed to help people get more high-value clients because people are coming to me because they've got problems with their marketing. If they don't have problems with their marketing, they wouldn't talk to me, which is awesome, and that's exactly what I do. So in your case, we've got a few great people on the line tonight. We've got Beata Steiner, who does corporate massage. So it's great having you on, Beata. So in the case of awesome Beata, in your case, it might be doing seminars on health or de-stressing or feeling good and that type of thing because your customers are into it. So ultimately, it's great to run events which aren't too random. I'll use an interesting example of all this. I was with a very, very awesome client. Can't tell you their identity because it's all confidential and that's the way I operate. And I was with a very awesome client and they were running events trying to bring people together. But the problem was that with these events is that the events they were running were great and they're bringing people together, but they weren't related to what people would do. So when they then introduced their products or services, people would respond with, huh? I didn't come here for that. Huh? What I'm saying is the intention is not right. So you got to really think this through. You got to think through the event, the audience, and exactly what you're doing. Absolutely critical. Oops, skip one. Number 3 is the information. What actual information are you giving them? Now, here's a big thing that really has annoyed me, and I do my best to not do this. I have seen a lot of seminars out there that really are just giving out average content you can just find on YouTube quite easily, but they've just hyped it. Now, the point that I'm making is that with whatever you're saying, and this is beyond the marketing of it, what you are telling people has to be just incredible. You've got to be giving such high quality, powerful information that makes people feel inspired, makes people feel compelled, and basically it paves the way to total success. I can't stress that enough. Number 4 is the group format. This is a whole discussion by itself, and I want to throw a few out there, and I've done all of these. Now, you'll notice that before I go, you'll see that I've got from 1 to 7. Informal meetings, free webinars, paid webinars, workshops, seminars. Now, I've got basically 4 different formats there. When I say informal meetings, this can actually work well for a lot of businesses, and I've done these before incredibly well. You might have a meeting which really is just an informal gathering of 3 to 4 of you, and that just might be at a restaurant or a bar even, or a coffee shop. That is absolutely quite good, and I've actually had informal meetings of up to 10 people, which have gone incredibly well. Now, informal meetings can be great for more of a social atmosphere where everyone's sort of cozy, and where a place isn't too loud. And informal meetings can be great and easy to set up. You notice what webinars are? Webinars is what you're listening to right now, my very awesome friends. They are online seminars, which makes the term webinar, okay? So webinars can be very, very good as well. Now, I'll tell you, I'm going to criticize webinars as well as compliment them. Now, a lot of webinars out there are sort of marketed as in, oh my God, if you run webinars, you're going to double the size of your business by the morning and make lots of money. I love webinars, and I usually do webinars every 2 to 3 weeks, and they're incredible. However, there is a point to it. In terms of getting more high-value clients, and I can't stress this enough, webinars are nowhere near as good as live workshops face-to-face. And I'm sure you can get why. In this case, even though it's live and you can type in questions and ask me and obviously know what I'm doing and all that, the whole issue we've got here is that what invariably happens is that even though it's a great live webinar, it's still not quite face-to-face. It's good, and I still do them, but I just do want to say that workshops are great. Now, there's two things here. A workshop and a seminar are two different things, and I just want to draw the distinction here. A workshop has a tendency to be something that's quite interactive. It's usually where there's a lot of discussion, you're working on people's individual problems, and you're sort of getting involved in what they're doing. Seminars, and usually workshops go up to about 20 or 30 people. Seminars is usually starting at 30 people and above, and that's where there's no two-way discussion of information. It tends to be presenting to the audience more. Now, I'm actually not a huge seminar fan. I am a huge workshop fan, and what I try and I've done a lot of seminars in my business. I've actually made a lot of money out of them, but I actually don't like them because seminars don't tend to give the ultimate customer experience. I like to have groups of about 20 to 30 where you more interact, because then that way you better meet the needs of the audience. So that's just something I just want to point out. But basically, here's it. You've got heaps of different options. You'll notice that free and paid is a big part of it. That is a big discussion point, which I will come back to, but I just want to highlight some of the formats. Event structure. This is very, very good. You'll notice I've got a particular structure to the event that I'm running now. And there are so many different ways of going about it that all just totally matter. Now, when you're running an event, there's heaps of ways that I can point out, is that when you structure an event, you really got to think about your audience. It's more of an art form than anything else. And what's very important, I find, with a good event is that you have a good flow to it. So, for example, I like having a welcome, an introduction. I like to frame it. I like having good breaks. I like having content, action points, breakouts, interactions, discussions, follow-up, closing, and post-event review. So you'll notice that even though my events might be a lot of fun and quite relaxing, there is a strong sense of structure, and I always finish on time. That's something that's very, very important. So I can't stress that enough. So you'll see that you want to have a flow to it. So be it you're working with the most happy-go-lucky people out there, or you're working with the most process-driven engineers, you want to make sure you have a really good flow and narrative to your events to make them as interesting as possible. Number 6 is the experience. I've spent a bit of time talking this one now. Basically, it's this. If you run a live event, people have to leave it thinking, wow, that was really good. Yes, that was wonderful. Yes, I love it. Does that make sense, awesome friends? Got any questions? Get them through. This is absolutely incredible. Ultimately, and I can't stress this enough, you can do whatever else you want right, but if you don't get the actual experience right and make people feel good and think, wow, this event was awesome, I learnt these skills, or I met these great people, very, very hard to get a sale. And I cannot stress this enough, my wonderful friends. It's very, very important. Number 7 is the finances. That's making sure that you're not spending too much money. So if I criticize some of my old work, I've run some absolutely incredible events before, but I spent too much money in doing it. So the problem is that even though I got lots of clients out of the event, I would spend a couple grand in booking at the Novotel. So it would actually cut into my profit margins, making the events less viable in the future. Where these days, we often get venues for nothing because we do deals with places and they sponsor us and we promote their services. And so that way, we run events for almost no money. It's just incredible. Basically, it's this. You might have to go to the Novotel, which is great, or hire a good place somewhere. That's absolutely cool. But what I want you to do is just think through the cost versus return. It's absolutely critical. So if you do have to pay, look, ultimately, I like getting rooms for free. That's the way to do it because then your return's incredibly fantastic. But the big thing to sort of be mindful of, my awesome friends, is to see if you can do it for free. Make sure it's good. Make sure it's important. And number 8, this is an important issue, and I'll be talking about this a little bit later on when I go through my examples, is the promotion is filling the event. So if you're running an event full of lots of people, well, my salient question to you is how do you fill it? How do you get people in the room? How do you get bookings? How do you make it all happen? Because it is absolutely critical in that regard, and I'll be giving you a few examples later. Number 9, this is pretty much the operational management. This is making sure that, look, every event you're going to miss something because there's so much detail, but the salient point being is that you cover the detail, you don't miss a beat, and you keep the event as compelling as possible. I cannot stress this one enough. Number 10, this is a great point actually. The day after, the morning after, what actually happens? How do you actually follow up with people? And there's heaps of different things that you can do. Now, there's actually a big issue because a lot of people run incredible events, but they won't have an actual follow-up. What do you actually do? Do you email people? Do you contact them? Do you give them a phone call? I actually use the Meetup platform, which has really, really good automatic follow-up that I totally love. So this is some of the things that I just want to highlight to you as part of the structure. If you've got any questions, friends, please type them in on that text box. Get them through. Give me your examples. Give me your questions. Give me your problems, because I'd love to answer them. Okay, now I'm going to deal with some of the thorny issues that we hear about all the time when it comes to webinars. Free events versus paid events. Now, I'm going to look at this from the point. Now, there's a lot of discussion on paid events. Now, let's say you're doing an event with the intent of making money from selling tickets to the event. That's one conversation. The conversation I'm more focusing on is more from a marketing point of view, of you bringing more clients to your business. So let's say you're running a business and you want to get more actual clients to your business. So the event is not in itself there to make money out of selling tickets, but you're using the event as a means of getting more clients into your business. That's more of the point of view I want to come in from. But if you want to ask me questions on the other, please do so. Now, when you're running an event, there's the whole free versus paid debate, and it forms quite a big debate, actually. It's almost like, your sporting teams or going politics. It can be a big area of debate, and it can be incredibly emotional as well. Now, I've done both. I've done both sides of it, and I've got my position of where I sit on this debate and this thorny issue. Now, I'll tell you where I sit on this issue. I like having free events. I prefer free events. I found free events are much more valuable. And also I tend to get a lot more high value clients from free events as well. And I've got several reasons for that. What happens is this, and I've found this from my own testing, and it's what we do now. When you run an event if you run an event and people have to pay for it, it's much more harder to fill the event. So at the end of the day, people, especially if they don't know you, they don't want to pay for events. They want to go to great free events and get to know you and get to like you in that regard. I cannot stress that point enough. That's point one, my very awesome friends. A very, very salient point to make. Point two that I like to draw from all this as well is that when you charge for an event, even $10 or $2 or $1, people have this attitude and rightful sense of entitlement about them. And I've actually heard this comparison made. I've heard for many times people actually compare running a live event to a movie ticket. And what I mean by that is that, hey, let's say they spend $20 in going to an event. They might have said to themselves, wow, I had to pay for this event. I could have been watching a movie right now or something like that. This does absolutely happen. It's a very important thing, and it's something to be quite mindful of. Now, free events I am a huge fan of because you create the popularity, you can create the drive, and people who are there just love it. And because you've done them a favor already, they just want to work with you. So that's one of the big points I want to make in this whole dialogue and discussion. Now I want to give you my own formula. This is exactly how I do it. I like running 2 live events a month in my business, and I have a mixture of evening events and half-day seminars. I don't pay for the venues because I get them for free through just negotiating with great other people that I know. And all like this, all my events give incredibly good value and great content. And what I do at the end is very light, respectful selling, which I'll do tonight. And it works incredibly well when we follow that. This has worked incredibly well for me. Now, I'll give you an example. Here's a photo from one of my evening workshops. Had about 20 people here. It was wonderful. About 25 people, actually. We had a great dinner and a fantastic evening, and this was one of the great events that I ran. Now, in this case, the way that I did it, it goes from about 6:30 to about 8 p.m., and we just spoke about marketing. So everyone has a handout on their table. It worked great. That could be simply your events. You can simply get like a quiet part of a restaurant, or in this case, it's got its own private room. And what you simply do with people is saying, hey, you've got a free event tonight. Just buy yourself dinner to support the venue, but you can enjoy it free on the house from us. Great model. It's something I'm a big fan of. If you want to come to my event, by the way, just send me a message or ask me. I can send you the link. We run these in CBD every fortnight. The other point that I want to make here, friends, as well, is evening workshops are great. I love running on Tuesday and Wednesday nights. Another one is the daytime seminar. Downside, they take more work. The upside, they're very popular and they get great turnouts. This is where we go from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. During the week, of course. I don't like running events on the weekend most of the time. because, again, it sort of impacts with people's lives, but it depends on the event. But basically in this one, it's a free half-day seminar. We go into a lot of detail talking marketing and business, and we get everyone amped and in the zone. Another great example of what's possible. As well, I like using the Meetup platform to run events. Now, Meetup's an incredible platform in the respect that Meetup, and this is the way I look at it, Meetup is not good for handling billing. So if you want to charge for an event, it's not the right platform. But Meetup's all about building a community. So if you register on Meetup, you get your own little sub-community where you can list all your groups. Now, the beauty of Meetup is that it promotes and fills the events for you. So if you list an event on Meetup, there's a lot of events on Meetup, Meetup will automatically fill your event for you, which is just incredible. So Meetup's an incredible platform, something I highly recommend if you're doing regular, ongoing free events. And this is our profitable marketing group that's on there. Again, you're welcome to come. Let me know and I can send you the link. The other one is live webinars. I'm preaching to the choir here because all you awesome people are on my live webinar now and you're all listening and you're all tuned in. So again, this is another great one that is just incredible. Okay, so live webinars is a great one too. Now, I use Citrix GoToWebinar, which is an incredible platform. It's very good. It's very stable. And it works incredibly well. Well, touch wood. Hopefully the audio is coming through clearly. Touch wood. I am touching wood right now to dispel myself of any possible gypsy curses by saying this. But really, with live webinars, I've found. I'm sure this is going to power out. I know I'm tempting fate here. GoToWebinar has been quite stable. I've never had any severe issues. I'm touching wood. Please don't punish me for counting my luck before it's over. But no. Overall, I've been using GoToWebinar for years. Very stable platform, very powerful. Now, again, live webinars. I love live webinars. They're online. You can take recordings and that sort of thing. But the downside of live webinars, though, they're great, but they're not as good as a live face-to-face event. Because the other thing that I want to point out with live face-to-face events, whether they articulate it or not, people love going to live events to get energized and to meet people. And to me, this is one of the big salient points I want to make. You want people to come along so they really enjoy themselves and have a great time. Here, people don't seem to be enjoying themselves. They're busy listening to what Martha has to say and all the great information that she's putting in. So Meetup platform is wonderful. Live webinars are great. And I love using the Citrix GoToWebinar platform. It's incredible. The other point, and I'm actually going to be doing this tonight to demonstrate it, offer your services at the end. It is absolutely incredible. Because when you do a live webinar experience, a live workshop experience, be it a webinar or not, what I've been guilty of in the past is not doing a very good offer to my services at the end, where people go, "Hey, Ed, I like that, but I have no idea how to hire you." So you've got to be very clear and upfront with people at the end so they know how to hire you. I love my hot chocolate. Now, filling your events is a great conversation by itself. As I said, Meetup itself is very good for filling events. You can also email them to your database, such as what I do. That works well because in your database, people are quite warm to you and like you. Facebook is also very good too. You see a screenshot of me actually promoting this live webinar, and you'll notice that has me talking about the workshop, and then it has a live webinar link in there. It works well. LinkedIn also works great too, and also direct invites. So let's say I'm talking to someone or a potential customer, I'll invite them to my next upcoming workshops. This works quite well. And by the way, friends, we're coming to the end of this live webinar. I've gone through a lot of stuff, so I'm going to go through a few honourable mentions. Number one, when it comes to filling your live workshops, you have to fill them. Filling is everything because it pays the way to win. Now, when I run live workshops, I like having an absolute minimum of 10 people along, my preference being 20 and my maximum being 30. It's very important. I want to go through a few things. Eventbrite is fantastic for paid events, okay? So if you're going to charge for an event or an event's a one-off, Eventbrite's a great booking platform, okay? The second point is I was saying you got to fill events. That's absolutely critical. Number 3 is you got to fit the event in with your own business model. Number 4 is you got to stick to a schedule. Number 5, you got to make sure you're filling your events with the right people. Number 6, make a wonderful experience. And number 7 is create the proof that you really want. It's about proving to people you know what you're doing and you're demonstrating it in that practical application. So my advice to you, friends, is get planning and go for it. We often recommend that clients work on the 9-day planning matrix. So if you like what you've heard and you want to do your own live workshop or webinar, please put it in your action plan and get it done. Don't just listen to me as part of it. And of course, as well, here's the big thing. I love helping people win. and I've helped many people win over time. And I'll tell you what, great success in marketing comes from incredible implementation. And I'm here to mentor, motivate you, and help set you up to win. So I'm actually going to demonstrate how the sales approach works, and we're going to do it together. And we're going to go through it. Now, number one is invite one. This is what I invite you to. If you haven't already, my awesome friends, I'd love to offer you all, the people live on tonight, a 45-minute discovery session with myself. It's valued at $300 plus GST, and this is where I get to review your goals and work on your marketing sales strategy. So if you haven't done this and you'd love to work with me more, let me know. Send me a message. Send me an email. Let's book in a time to work 45 minutes on the house, and this session is valued at $300 plus GST. It's my gift to you. We can work on your business free, no obligation. My gift to you. Now, we can do it face-to-face or over the phone, whatever works. So this is my chance to demonstrate to you that I know what I'm doing. And in that, love to work on your business, focus on what you're doing. And I'll give you a few pointers while we're at it. So invite one is a discovery session. Notice I've given you one option. Invite number two, if you haven't already, please check out my awesome Marketing Vault mentoring program. It is a fantastic program. It's a powerful marketing and sales online archive, videos, guides, templates, and downloads for you to learn and work at your own pace. It covers multiple strategies, including face-to-face, Facebook, LinkedIn, email marketing, running workshops, pricing, marketing strategies, and more. It also gives you unlimited direct email and Facebook Messenger access to me personally. It's just a beautiful $97 a month. You can go to my website at excellenceabove.com.au right now and sign up. It's incredible. You'll love it. It's just such great value, and it's a great product that I highly recommend. So you can check it out as long as little as you like. Any questions about it, just ask me. But you can sign up anytime, excellenceabove.com.au, or give me a call and I can sign you up over the phone and get you enrolled in the program. It's just incredible. Number three is, of course, working with me one-on-one, which is just fantastic. This is when we work face-to-face in powerful mentoring programs, and you can benefit from my years of experience to help you master marketing. It starts at $900 a month, and this is when I work with you one-on-one, and I put so much energy and drive to what you're doing to grow your business. This is for the real ambitious that are driven to grow their businesses. Now, I'm just going to recap my personal selling here just to demonstrate. You notice I've done a live webinar, and I've got three offers that I gave you. The first one is something for free. It's giving people an avenue to ask more questions, which is great. Number two is I've got like a simple online sort of product. And then number three, I've got my sort of premium product being my personal mentoring. So the idea is, and this is what I like doing, is that when you run a webinar, it's great to, a workshop. It's great to offer three different options so people have the choices of what they're going to work with. It just works great. As well, questions for more information. Just to let you know as well, you can Google my name, Edward Zia, go to my website, Excellence Above, and go and download my corporate profile under the mentoring tab. Also as well, if you haven't already, please add me personally on Facebook and LinkedIn. I'd love to connect. Also, I just want to give a few acknowledgements. I want to acknowledge you for coming along. And also, I've used a lot of material from pop culture, including XCOM, Spock, and a lot of great imagery out there. So, friends, thank you for joining me tonight on this live webinar experience. I'm going to be getting the recording out now. And if you've been watching this recording, here to help. There's my email address, edward@excellenceabove.com.au. If you want a copy of the PowerPoint, just let me know. I'd love to send it through to you. Also, too, as well, then I have your marketing here to help. Everyone, thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. If you have any questions, just follow up with me. I just want to say you've been a great audience. Now, make sure when you see my stuff on Facebook, hit like and share. The more people that see it, the merrier. And I'm just going to stay here for 10 seconds to see if anyone's got any questions. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Awesome! I've already got a customer tonight. Anyway, love your work. Yes, please get in touch, my awesome friend. Love to work with you on that session. Anyway, stay awesome, stay in the zone, stay productive. Yes, and of course, just to let you know, Derek, I can see you there. I will be getting the recording out. If you're in my email database, you'll be getting it automatically at 11 a.m. tomorrow. If not, Derek, feel free to flick me an email just so I've got your email address and I'll reply back to you with the link. So it's all available. Anyway, love your work, friends. And of course, awesome friends. Love to talk to you more. Just let me know. Anyway, here to help. Love your work. Stay awesome. Win big for me. And of course, good evening to you all.